Welcome back to our channel.
I'm Matt Digman.
And I'm Roddy. We're the authors of The Dark That Dwells, our sci-fi fantasy novel we published in July 2020. It's the first book in our space opera series, and its publication is the reason for today's video.
If this is your first visit to our channel, welcome. Here, we discuss various writing topics and present our series, Doctoring the Books, where we share our medical knowledge to help writers craft realistic injuries and illnesses in their fiction.
Today, we'd like to start something new, a series where we talk about the various aspects of our publishing journey in the hopes that our experiences might serve as points of reference for those considering their next steps as indie authors. Just about everyone watching this probably has a decent understanding of the fundamental differences between traditional publishing and self-publishing.
In traditional publishing, you find an agent to represent you and your work, and that agent in turn helps you get a publishing deal from a publishing house. You then work with all the various departments within that company to create your finished product, after which point you then get some degree of marketing assistance from your publisher prior to, during, and/or after the book's release. The publisher fronts the cost for all these services in exchange for the rights to publish your book. They'll give you an advance, and if your book earns that money back in sales, you'll start making royalties on future sales.
In self-publishing, both the blessing and the burden of all these tasks falls to you. You maintain full ownership of your novel and therefore have the right to customize every step of the process to your liking. You have complete control and ultimate freedom. The earning potential is all yours too, but this also means you have to foot the bill for everything.
In her book, Successful Self-Publishing, Joanna Penn actually makes a further distinction, drawing attention to the differences between what she considers a self-published author and an independent author. A self-published author does everything themselves, defines success as a finished book that is out there in the world and does not necessarily aim to sell a lot of books to readers.
An indie author budgets for and works with creative professionals to make their book into a fantastic finished product. This may include working with editors and cover designers, as well as formatters and other freelancers. They understand that a book is an intellectual property asset that can earn money for the life of the author and 50 to 70 years after they die. They define success as long-term income as well as creative fulfillment, and they take control of their writing career, from first book to, potentially, CEO of a global creative empire. This indie author approach is the one we felt best aligned with our writing philosophy and career goals. And while we researched and learned about the skills needed for every step of the process, we also knew that we wanted to work with talented individuals in various fields such as artists and editors to develop the most professional product possible.
So why did we choose to self-publish?
For us, maintaining creative control was key. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find an indie author who doesn't cite this as the biggest motivating factor in their decision to self-publish.
We knew the story we wanted to tell. We didn't want to relinquish our rights to the world we created or the characters we brought to life. We have a vision for this series, and we wanted its debut to be representative of that, meaning every aspect from the cover down to the book ornaments, and even the fonts we used had to fit the aesthetic we'd been picturing for our story.
Also, we knew we wanted to write a series, and we didn't want to run the risk of the publisher not optioning our future installments. This was non-negotiable for us, and really made the rest of the decisions irrelevant. In traditional publishing, the publisher controls nearly everything, and for the most part, they have final say. You are forever beholden to them, or at least it can seem that way. Yes, traditional publishing has its advantages, and we can't speak to those from personal experience. But in our opinion, whatever benefits that path offers just come at too high a cost.
Another big factor was timeline. By the time we'd reached the publishing crossroads, we'd already spent about 4 years developing, writing, and editing The Dark That Dwells, and researching everything we could about both publishing routes. We knew that traditional publishing is a long game, and even if every step went as quickly as possible for us, it might still be years before our book would be in the hands of our readers. No amount of passion for our work would be able to speed the process.
We felt confident that we could put in the work and partner with accomplished creatives in the industry to develop a professional end product in a reasonable amount of time. Knowing that our day jobs have been and will continue to be a limiting factor when it comes to writing and publishing times, we wanted to move things forward as quickly as possible without sacrificing any of the quality. Self-publishing gave us that option.
And all that researching we did? Well, it was actually really interesting. We liked learning about all aspects of the process and figuring out how to do them. And for the things we couldn't do ourselves, it was really cool getting to review freelancers' portfolios and find someone whose vision seemed to align with ours. Self-publishing a product we hope to be on par with traditionally published titles led to the accrual of many new skills and talented contacts in the literary world, and that turned out to be incredibly rewarding. In medicine, there's a common saying, see one, do one, teach one. This embodies the concept most famously referenced in surgical training, by which you observe a procedure, perform it yourself, then instruct another learner on its execution.
That's similar to our approach to this self-publishing series. We don't claim to be experts on all the inner workings of the world of self-publishing, but we did learn anything and everything we could on the subject and then applied that knowledge to our own book's publication. What we want to share with you guys now are the insights we gained and the lessons we learned from our own experience.
Pass on what you have learned.
We hope this has given you a better understanding of what influenced our decision to self-publish as indie authors, and all the various things that should factor into your decision too.
In future episodes, we'll get into all the nitty-gritty details of each step along the way. So if you have any specific questions about things you definitely want us to cover, drop them in the comments below.
If you want to learn more about our publishing journey, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any future episodes.
And with that, we'll see y'all next time.